the gun and the start. They're underway now in the laser medal race. And right down to leeward from Portugal is Gustavo Oliva, but right up in the windward position it is Andrew Murdoch and from New Zealand and Tom Slingsby from Australia.
It's Gustavo just looking a little soft there for breeze. You can see him now way out to the left on the screen there. Two boats tacked out to the right. They're probably in better air at the moment.
So Gustavo
flipped over onto port now.
Right, well, tell us the two. Who are those two going out to starboard? Richard?
That's the Chilean competitor. That's Matheus de Sola. The French guy's just tacked underneath the Portuguese. So Thomas Le Breton just tacked under Gustavo Lima. They're the furthest to windward of the port tack boats. Whole of the rest of the fleet heading out for the right hand side of the course. The Chilean now is tagged. Matheus de Sola to windward of the rest of the fleet. They're all going on these small ships at the moment. There's little tiny ships coming through and they're looking for the tack that will take them closest to the windward mark.
All right, well, Michael Blackburn, it does look as though it is Andrew Murdoch from New Zealand and Tom Slingsby from Australia and one other. I'm not sure whether it's Mate Arapov from Croatia, Portugal, and there's Chile, but behind them over in the distance are the other two out to the right who are doing well. This is down, coming out to the left-hand side. These sailors were down at the pin end of the line.
That's right, and I think we're looking at the boats on the right-hand side now. Estonia, Dennis Karpan from Estonia, and I think that's Mate from, Luka from Croatia. They're heading out to the right side. I think they're in a little better air at the moment.
Right, so the early stages now on this first beat. It is a windward-leeward. They go round the course 3 times, and we'll take you through that as the race progresses. So there's Chile, Portugal, Croatia, and there's the French sailor, and that is Thomas Le Breton with number 6 on the bow.
See, the wind's just gone softer there. You can see Andrew Murdoch from New Zealand just cut this it in a little bit for a while there. Now they're only sort of mini hiking, so the wind's just gone down a little. Well, I can't see Tom Slingsby out in the front yet. I think he's a little down the tack.
He is. He's definitely separated. He got caught the wrong side of a couple of ships, and he's on port tack on the left-hand side now, behind Thomas Le Breton, who's leading the Gibraltar on the left-hand side here. It seems to be very patchy, the wind. So there's areas of the course where there's more, and areas of the course where there's less.
Certainly Tom needs to watch out here. He needs to finish within the top 6 overall in this race in order to keep his position number 1 at the head of the fleet.
Right, well, it is the Estonian, Dennis Karpak, and also the Croatian, Luka Radlik, who are out on the right, and they really are setting the pace at the moment. They just seem to have got better breeze out to the right, Richard.
Yeah, they do. They've got more wind and a little bit of a better angle. You can see they're pointing closer to the windward mark than the people who are on starboard tack down at this left-hand end. It certainly seems that Luka Radilic and Dennis Karpak have the advantage. Dennis Karpak, the youngest guy in the fleet, only 20 years old.
And
he certainly seems to have picked out a shift here.
He's about 7 foot tall too. He's quite a machine in the breeze here, so if he can keep this form going, he'll be doing really well.
Well, it was around 16 knots, Michael, at the start, and the breeze is picking up a little more as they get closer to the windward mark. And so if he's 7 foot tall, he's going to have the leverage.
He certainly will. He'll be loving a bit more breeze at the moment. You can see the bows of the boats constantly bouncing up and down. There's quite a bit of chop out there, and that will really hurt competitors because you're trying to concentrate on steering the boat through the waves. But also you want to spend time looking around upwind to see what the wind's doing.
Notice both Estonian boats are right up in the van of the fleet as well.
I think we've just got some traffic there.
Yeah, there has. The one out to the right is just Spectator, I think. Right, so this is the Chilean. Matheus de Sola.
Had the right of way, and he's forced Matheus de Sola to tack back out to the left, not the direction he wanted to go. Thomas Le Breton now has tacked on the port. He wants to get to the right. He's taken the initiative away from Matheus. Both of them are going to be working hard now to try and get back across the fleet and consolidate. but they're not looking like they're going to get up anywhere near Luka Radulic and Denis Karpak. Denis Karpak and Luka Radulic definitely in control of this race right now.
And Richard, how far to the top mark from where the leaders are?
Oh, a couple of 100 yards at the most. There's definitely more wind up here nearer the shore, right by the windward mark. It's very soft where the competitors are. Probably less than 10 knots now where Tom Slingsby is, and it's probably over 15 knots by the windward mark.
Well,
Tom Slingsby's now the furthest left of the course.
This is Tom Slingsby right in front of us now with the gold mark on and 0-1 on the bow, indicating he is the overall leader going into this race. But as Michael Blackburn, who is the current world laser champion, has noted, that Tom Slingsby's got to be mindful if he gets in the ruck of the fleet, there may be boats in front of him that could create problems, because while he has a cushion of a good advantage at the moment going into this race, that could erode if he stays back in the fleet. And we've heard Richard say it's just getting a little soft up near the top mark.
That's stronger at the top mark, PJ. Sorry, it's soft in the middle of the course and definitely more wind up by this windward mark. Slingsby's tacked onto port now and he's crossing the fleet, trying to get back across to the right, but a definite advantage to the guys on the right hand side of the course.
Tom there just working the boat flat in this bigger gust here. He's got to just stay calm at the moment, try and chip away, and it's a 3-lap race, so he's plenty of time left to make it the race he needs.
So Michael, as you look at a top performer like this, an arrival of yours from Australia, what are the key things you're watching? He's trying to keep the boat flat and go through the valleys and troughs of the seaway?
Well, as we say in laser sailing, flat is fast, but then you've got the difficulty of getting through this nasty chop created by the coach boats, the jury boats, and the other race committee boats that are out there. And it's very hard to keep focused on getting the trim of the boat right, as well as looking upwind and deciding which way to sail around the course.
Well, Tom Slingsby may be number one going into this medal race, but he's not in the leading group at the moment.
Just see Denis Karpak from Estonia, who's dropped back a little compared to two Croatians. It's like two Croatians in the lead. It's out the left side of the course now, Chilean on the finish.
Andrew Murdoch from New Zealand just out to the left as well. So we are getting close to the top mark. Richard Parslow, how far to the top mark now?
Yeah, probably within 50, 70 yards of the top mark. Still looks like Denis Karpak is doing okay there. He's leading the bunch on starboard coming across, but he's a little bit further to leeward than Luka Radulic and the other Croatians. That's Denis just tacked on the port. He's closest to the windward mark. It's going to be a very close cross between him and Luka Radulic. Both the Croatians are pinned together on the right hand side. Both of them are going across on port tack now. It's going to be very close when they get to this windward mark.
Boy, they do look close though.
Less than a minute to go before they go round this mark.
Top mark just out of left the screen now. What will happen is the boats will probably compress a little as we get to the top, and then a lot of action will happen on the downwinds. The speed difference.
So Luka Radulic is leading. Just behind him is Matej Arapov, and just tacked to leeward of them is Denis Karpak. These are going to be the top three coming round the windward mark.
All right, there was Denis Karpak just tacking there at the moment. They are coming to the top mark. This is the laser medal race at the 2007 ISAF Sailing World Championships here in Portugal. And it is Estonia around first. And that is Denis Karpak, who is just leading Matej Arapov from Croatia.
Yeah, it's Luka Radulic actually second, and Matej Arapov is third at the moment.
The three boats got a fantastic gust out of the mark there. They'll be very happy with that. They've immediately put on another 30-40 metres on the boats just behind them.
That's Andrew Murdoch from New Zealand round next. And then I think it's the British guy, Paul Goodison.
Yes, we haven't mentioned Paul Goodison much. He was in the ruck of the fleet and then he went right, and now he is round of what was it, fifth. So now they're starting to sail downhill, and with the bump in the sea caused by the spectator craft, the judges and the umpires will get Michael to explain some of the technique that we're going to be watching now as they head off downhill for the first time on this windward leeward in this laser medal race final.
Peter, the trick here is to try and get the maximum amount of wind you can find. You can see there Croatian sailor adjusting his course dramatically to try and find another gust he's probably just seen behind him. You've got to match that up with some waves.